Hi Daisha, this is April with astrolata.com, and I am here to give you a reading for your daughter that you requested from me. And I thank you very, very much for requesting this reading and for your patience with this reading as well. So, what I'm just going to do is look at the very basics of her personality based on her natal chart. And yeah, just let you know what exactly I see. Maybe anything important that you would need to know. Nothing scary though. I don't do scary, fatalistic readings, especially not for children. I keep it as lighthearted as possible, but still with important details. So anyhow, this is her chart. If you are actually watching the video, I have it on the screen. And let's just start with the big three. So her rising sign is Cancer. It's 1 degree of Cancer. So the rising sign, it represents the first impression that people will get of her. It represents her appearance to some degree, and how she approaches life. So it's very Cancer. So she may be actually a very sensitive child. She could be a very sensitive, very, very sensitive baby. Well, she is going to be, 5 years old. She's going to be 5 years old. So yeah, but she can still be very sensitive because of that Cancer rising. Cancer risings, they are natural mothers. Okay, no matter if they're male or female or how old they are, they're natural mothers, natural nurturers. She probably really loves animals and babies herself. Maybe one of the kids that love to play house or play with those little play sets that have like the fake dishes and the fake food and all of that stuff. She's probably got some little motherly instincts within her, and she's probably very attached to you. Usually Cancer risings are attached to their mothers, and or it could be their fathers, whoever is the most nurturing figure in their lives. And with Cancer risings, it's like their mommy can do no wrong. To them, mama can do no wrong. It doesn't matter what she may go through. If you guys end up butting heads when she's older or whatever, with that Cancer rising, she is going to be all about mom still. You know, that Cancer energy in children, it reminds me of Tupac's song, Dear Mama, because you know how he mentions the stuff that he and his mom went through when he was growing up, you know, and still he made a song about how great she is, right? And I know Tupac has some Cancer energy somewhere in his chart, because that's just the way that Cancerian people are about their mothers. So anyhow, yeah, she's probably attached to you, or she'll just end up always thinking, you know, my mom is the best, my mom's the greatest, my mom, my mom, my mom. If you don't see it now, then she may display it more later. So Cancer risings, usually they have like a round face or maybe chubby cheeks, or if they're a woman, honestly she may end up being a little more, I guess, like well endowed, like in the chest area when she grows up, like maybe early on as well, to where you would have to really, you know, keep an eye on her. You know what I mean? Like they tend to develop a little earlier, Cancer risings, because once again, that's the sign of motherhood. So they tend to have a little more motherly figures, the women do. And then she has a positive aspect from the moon to her ascendant, and the moon rules Cancer, rules all those Cancer things. So that's another, like, double the Cancer energy. And also Cancer risings, the other part of the body that Cancer rules is the stomach. So that may be a sensitive area for her, is her stomach. Like maybe you know, make sure that she may be one of those children, may or may not, but be one of those children that complain that they have like a lot of tummy problems. Like her tummy could be sensitive, or she could just be hungry all the time. Just be one of those kids. Cancer kids are usually ones that they're always hungry, it seems. So let's move on to her sun sign. So her sun sign is Libra, and she has the sun in the fourth house. Now, the fourth house, it is an equivalent to Cancer because on the regular zodiac wheel, the natural order that it goes in, Cancer is the fourth sign. So in a personal birth chart, the fourth house, it's similar energy to Cancer. If any planets are in there, they take on a Cancer role as well as the sign, the role of the sign that it's in. So with her being a Libra sun, Libras are generally very pleasant people. They love to get along with others. They're all about getting along with other people. They are all about sharing with others. Just, come on, let's go here, let's go there. Like they have to do things with other people all the time. A sun in the fourth house, that's another Cancer element to her. So what that means is that more than likely her father has some Cancer energy somewhere, or he displays some Cancerian-like traits. Or it could be that maybe you as her mother, because a lot of times fourth house is the mother, maybe you as her mother play more of a stronger role in her upbringing, because the sun represents paternal energy and like an authority energy. And with it being in the fourth house of the nurturing motherly figure, a lot of times sun in the fourth house, their mother kind of wears the pants in the family, or she's just more of the prominent parental role in their lives. So the sun in her chart, it is making a positive aspect to Jupiter, which can make her a little more of a happy-go-lucky kid in a way. But also it makes an opposition to Uranus. So, and it makes a square to Pluto. Okay, so these are some challenging aspects that do signify that although she may be very tied to family, very close to family, and always want to kind of stay around family, be around family. Even as she gets older, she may want to live wherever it is that she grew up, or just live close by relatives, even if she moves or even if she's on her own. However, she does have a rebellious side because of that sun opposite Uranus, and this is from the 4th to the 10th houses. So this is that parental axis. Okay, this is the home versus this is like early childhood versus adulthood is the 4th and 10th axis as well. So she actually may be one of those kids that do kind of challenge authority at times. And with the sun opposition Uranus, usually that's because of the type of thinker that she is. Maybe she thinks a little more outside the box in a way, or like thinks ahead or sees things ahead of, looks ahead at things, and wants to skip ahead, you know what I mean? Or a lot of times kids with the sun and Uranus, they are actually very intelligent, but sometimes they're like one of those kids that are a little too smart for their own good. So where they will challenge adults like, oh, what do you mean by that? Instead of just yes sir, yes ma'am, yes mother or father, whoever, they'll challenge like, what? Like that doesn't make sense to me, therefore I don't know if I'm going to follow that rule. So that's something to definitely watch for. Sun square Pluto. Pluto is an energy of power. Okay, so that's also a challenge. Like she may challenge authority, she may challenge others, and their sense of power. And so that could present butting heads with authority, including parents as well. But these aspects, they do make her, they will bring her own sense of power when she gets older, like intelligence and being progressive and wanting to always transform within life, and even though she has the Cancer and the fourth house energy that likes its comfort and a lot of times really likes things to stay the same for the sake of security, she is going to still have a side to her that wants to evolve and transform and do things a little bit differently in life, maybe than what's expected of her, especially with having Uranus up there at the top of her chart, which rules career. She'll probably want some sort of unconventional type of career when she grows up. With her midheaven in Pisces Chiron and Neptune, those are very sensitive planets, connected with her career as well. She may want to do something with nursing or nurturing in some sort of way, caring for and helping others, but it could be something that's more independent, like to where she cares for others, but she has her own schedule, for example, or she's able to work out of her own house, or like a home-based business or something. But that's jumping ahead a little bit. I'm just letting you know the good things that energy could be used for, and not just the challenging ones. So let's move on to her moon sign. Her moon sign is Taurus. So Taurus moons really are attached to their material things. They're really attached, and they hold emotional value onto material things. So she may be that type of child, with this energy paired with the Taurus and the fourth house, the Cancer and the fourth house energy, that it's hard to get her to let go of her material things. Like, even if she's outgrown things, she may still want to keep them. She may want to have a lot of keepsakes, like want to keep every paper that she did in kindergarten, of every drawing and painting and whatnot. And because moon can represent mother and also family dynamics, maybe, you as her mother, or someone in the household, or just the family in general, may be like this also. And that's a trait that she may have inherited, is being attached to material things, saving things, needing to have keepsakes, and so on and so forth. So she may be one of those people that value photographs a lot, family photos, especially family photo albums. So I think it would be a good idea to preserve some of those things for her, so when she grows up, she has those things. Anything to do with family history, she's going to be interested in. And yeah, family photos, she'll probably want an album for herself. I think that would be an awesome gift for her, even when she's young, and then you can hold on to it and then pass it down. She will probably love heirlooms and anything passed down through the family, with her Taurus moon and the Cancer energy that she has. So her Taurus moon, it actually makes a great aspect to Neptune. So she does have a little bit of a dreamer side, an idealistic side, and also she has a very progressive thinking side, as well as the stubborn, because of her moon being in the 11th house. The 11th house energy is similar to Aquarius. It's quirky. She may be like more of a motherly type of figure amongst her friends. Like, for example, when she has friends, she may be the type that's like always trying to feed them, make sure that they eat, pay for their food, give them advice. They may see her in that way, amongst her friends. Even from a young age, she may display those characteristics. Or she'll want to be like the one who, if she plays house or something, she'll be want to be the one that's the mom, just stuff like that. So her moon does form an opposition to Saturn, and moon in challenging aspect to Saturn children. A lot of times they are faced with they feel like there's a lot of responsibility on their shoulders, to be honest. And it's usually because their mother, or just the family in general, placed a lot of responsibility on the child. Like a lot of chores, even from a young age, having to start doing chores. Or if she has any younger siblings, like you guys just may naturally want to put her in charge and say, here, watch your little sibling, or younger cousins or whoever. You guys will probably just naturally put responsibility on her. And with her Cancer energy, that fourth house energy, she may be very great with those types of duties, domestic duties, from an early age. But sometimes she may feel like, wow, like I really want to have a chance to just be a kid. She may resist things like chores and stuff sometimes, and be like, why can't I just play? Like, why do I got to do all this work and cleaning? And especially Cancer kids, they maybe like domestic in a way, but they hate tedious tasks like chores. Oh my gosh, they will manipulate and cry if you try to make them do anything that's like a chore, like any tedious cleaning. Like, I know so many cancers. I have a lot of cancers close to me, young and old, and they all are the same way about chores. So it may be difficult to get her to do chores if it's presented as like a duty and it's something that you have to do. You know, maybe if you were to tell her things like, "Well, I'll give you a dessert if you complete your chores," or candy or some food type of compensation, she may be more willing to do them. Okay. Now, she also has the moon in a positive aspect to Pluto. So this is good because this will make her a natural psychologist with reading human behavior. Having that moon and Pluto and also the Cancer energy, she'll be able to pick up on a lot of nonverbal cues from others, like any like change in a person's tone, even when they're speaking. She'll probably recognize it and notice it, and she can be upset by other people's tones too. Like if you're trying to say, "No, I'm not mad at you," but your tone is like a little more stern and like it shows that you're mad, she'll still know that you're mad. And she'll probably be a little sensitive. And also her moon forms a positive aspect to Venus. Moon and Venus people are usually pretty sweet. They have a very sweet side that's very generous as well, and is also very addicted to sweets and anything that tastes really, really good. I know that's easy to say, like a lot of people are, but Moon and Venus people, they really get those cravings. Okay, so moving along to her Mercury. So Mercury is the way a person communicates, and it's their logical thinking. So she has Mercury in Libra and is conjunct Saturn. So she probably is going to be really big on fairness. She will probably be one of those kids that you always hear them say, "That's not fair. That's not fair," because Libra energy is here to actually do that, to be making sure that there is justice, that everybody is being treated fairly, that things are balanced or they're well balanced. So if anything is a little off, she may be the type of kid that says something about it. Mercury conjunct Saturn. Mercury rules your logical thinking, and then the moon rules your emotional thinking. So both of them are in an aspect to Saturn. So yeah, sometimes she may feel like life can get her down a little easier than other people. Like feeling that heavy weight of responsibility, like, man, why me? Why do I have, these chores to do, or this, homework or whatever, like tedious stuff. She'll be able to easily see life as being hard work and drudgery for a lot of things, But the good thing about these energies is when it comes to working and career, when she gets older, she will be very career minded, very business minded. Saturn is a planet of business. So Mercury conjunct Saturn people can make great business people. In Libra means she's going to be a great negotiator of business and of contracts and all of that stuff. But a moon opposition to this, is, it's kind of seeing life as being so difficult sometimes that you'll have to kind of talk to her and make her realize it's not that bad, it's not that difficult, lighten up a little bit, so on and so forth. Her Mercury makes a positive aspect to Venus, which is great because usually Mercury Venus people, they could be really great speakers to others. Be very considerate of other people when they speak, not just blurt out a bunch of crap, If you don't see this now, then you may see it when she gets older. They have a lot of diplomacy and tact with the way that they speak. So she may be very good with language, and she may be one of those children that could be good with learning other languages for the sake of wanting to understand others and have others understand her. because of that Mercury position, and also because she has Venus in the house of languages, of learning to speak, which is the third house. So she has Venus there, and that means she may enjoy stuff like that. She may enjoy any type of games that involve things that are quick moving, like quick moving data, quick moving, like, graphics and characters and stuff. She probably really wants a phone if she doesn't have one already. She's going to be one of those kids that definitely want a phone, and technological devices that are used for communicating. With that Venus in the third, she'll be one of those kids that really, really want those. So her Venus is in an opposition to Neptune, and this can make her someone who daydreams a lot, who is idealistic, and sometimes she cannot clearly see people for who they really are, especially her friends in early childhood. Sometimes she may be a very forgiving person because of that placement. Maybe very forgiving, easily forgiving. But her Venus also, it makes a square aspect to Mars. That could be a challenging position at times, more so on the relationship tip when she gets older. But as a child, though, it may not really show up that much. It may just be like, maybe sometimes she doesn't want to dress feminine. Maybe she wants to dress like a boy or something, that it may just show up like that, possibly. So also, let's move along to her Mars. So she has Mars in the sign of Scorpio in the 6th house. So when she grows up, this is going to make quite the focused workaholic. Like, she can really zone in on her work, maybe be really great at working in a lab or something, something in isolation where she could just zone in on her work, tune everyone else out, and just go, just get that work done. As a child, though, Mars in Scorpio, she could be a little vengeful at times. I would watch that and try to help her to keep that under control, because the singer Taylor Swift, she has Mars in Scorpio. And have you noticed, I don't know if you ever hear any of her music or come across it or the lyrics or anything, but she's very vengeful, writing songs about people, about her exes and about like her rivals, So vengeful, Mars in Scorpio. So, you may have to help her with learning not to be vengeful, that it's not worth it. It's not worth her time to be like that, like if a kid hurts her, she may be like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Hold a grudge for a minute, and then whenever she gets a chance, when they don't think she's going to strike, then she may strike, So that's the only really bad thing with Mars and Scorpio, but she could be very passionate about things, like have laser sharp focus and intuition towards things with that Mars position. So next up, I noticed that the nodes, the north and south nodes, let's talk about those. Those are very important for karmic life lessons and incarnation into this lifetime. For anyone of any age, it's important to know. So the north node, it represents the direction that you're supposed to move more towards in this lifetime, and leave the south node tendencies behind, at least the negative ones, and keep a great balance of the positives of both the north and south node. Her north node is in Scorpio in the 6th house, okay, and it's conjunct Mars. So that means north node conjunct Mars people, they are here to do something maybe active, whether that's physically active or whether that's, helping other people in some sort of way that is active. Again, I mentioned Tupac. I know she doesn't have like a similar chart to Tupac, but Tupac had the North Node and Mars. Wait, was it the North Node and Mars or North Node and Pluto? Yes, he had the North Node and Mars together. And, he was kind of like a revolutionary person, like he was here to do challenging things and stuff like that, and to transform. Mars in Scorpio is definitely here to transform, and the North Node right next to it, it's her karmic life's destiny. Like, a lot of rebirths are going to be happening in her life, to kind of help her to evolve into such a strong person, okay? Into a very strong person, persistent, laser sharp with whatever she wants to do, you know? So that's her Mars in Scorpio. And it's conjunct the North Node once again, so that can signify some sort of career or purpose revolving around Mars that she's here to do. And Mars rules Aries, and for Cancer risings, Aries is the 10th sign. So she is here to be some sort of a boss, okay? And in her chart, the way it's divided up by the birth time, Mars rules the 11th house of gathering together with groups of people that you have a common interest with. So she could be here to do actually both, to be some sort of a leader or boss, but be someone who is an advocate for the underdog in a way, you know. So also let's talk about her Chiron. Chiron in Pisces in the 9th sign, okay, so in the 9th house. So I always like to, as a matter of fact, the last 3 children's readings I've done, they all have Chiron in the 9th house, which is interesting. So Chiron in the 9th. The 9th house, it represents beliefs, belief systems, could be religion. It can also be educational system. So, you know, with that Chiron in the 9th, she could actually, you will need to watch with her possibly being bullied in school. And I hope that's not like, oh my God, that doesn't scare you as a parent. But I'm not saying it's a guarantee that she'll be bullied, but a lot of kids who have this position, it's like there's something about school that they never get over. Like it affects them, and it's hard for them to get over. But yeah, I have seen this placement show kids that have been bullied or teased at some point in school. And I know what kid doesn't have that happen to them, right? But for a kid with Chiron in the 9th, it can be a recurring soft spot or wound for her when she gets older if there's like nothing that's done about it. But the good thing is Chiron is the wounded healer, so she can turn around and help heal people who have gone through the same things that she has during school, if anything like that does happen. Also, Chiron in the 9th, I've seen it play out to where, you know, someone really wants to go to college and continue their education, but the opportunities are scarce, and, you know, it kind of disappoints them because they really want to continue on. That's not until she gets older, obviously. But also, Chiron in the 9th can play out to where a lot of religious beliefs are, you know, I don't want to say forced upon, but kind of like forced upon the child, and they don't really want to conform. They question those beliefs, you know, they question everything, and they're like, I don't know if this resonates with me. I believe this, this, and this. So that could be like a never-ending soft spot for her. Is that Chiron in the 9th. But yeah, just make sure you let her know that if anyone picks on her at school, for her to let you know, okay? And then back to the North and South nodes, my bad. So her life's mission is to be here and do Scorpio things with that North node, but also do Aries type things, like get in a leadership role, maybe become her own boss or something. But also, she's here to do 6th house things, which are things to do with the day-to-day daily routines, healthcare, the healthcare profession, all of that stuff. Taking care of and training pets is also the 6th house. So she's on a mission to do Scorpio things, you know, to transform, to evolve, to be that phoenix bird, to allow herself to do just that. The South Node in the 12th house in Taurus, well, this is her number one, you know, South Node in the 12th. That's a person who in a past life, maybe they felt more victimized, like, oh, woe is me and poor me, and, you know, always trying to let people know that they have problems so that they can gain sympathy from other people, you know, stuff like that. But now she's here to do the positives of Taurus and Scorpio, okay? Her South Node in the sign of Taurus means she needs to try to not be so materially focused that it affects her emotionally, that it affects her financially, and with any type of relationships that she has later on. So I guess the only transits that I would tell you about for somebody this little is her Mars return. Okay, so yeah, a lot of kids have their Mars return about every 2 years. Everyone does, actually. Okay, so a Mars return is every 2 years. Mars comes back around to the same sign of your natal Mars. So hers is in Scorpio. Okay, so anytime Mars is in Scorpio is when you might see a repeat of the terrible twos. If she did go through the terrible twos, not every single child does, but the terrible twos is the first Mars return, actually. The next time Mars will be in the sign of Scorpio is it's in 2018. It'll be in the sign of Scorpio actually the end of 2017 and into January 2018. The exact date that it enters Scorpio is December 9th of 2017, and it'll be there all the rest of that month, and then almost the whole month of January. So that's the time period, once again, every 2 years, to where she may be a little more like rowdy and difficult to deal with, difficult to discipline. Maybe talk back, or say no a lot, and stuff like that little kids can do to act out. She'll be more physically active, have a lot more physical drive than usual, and that's another time period. That's a time period to where people need to watch for being accident prone, like running into stuff, getting a lot of owies, stuff that kids do. So yeah, that's her Mars return later this year that you would need to watch for. I guess the only other transit is Jupiter is transiting through her 5th house. Once it enters Scorpio, it's really going to kick in. And Jupiter transiting someone's 5th, that's a time when they want to be involved in hobbies and sports and things that make their little hearts light up with joy. So yeah, from October of 2017 till I think October or November of 2018, it could be a good time if you're able to put her into some hobbies, because then she'll remember them. She'll probably remember participating in them and remember it as like one of the best times of her life if you actually did that for her. So that was it. That was it for the reading for your little miss, and I really hope it was helpful. The only other info I would give is having Pluto in the 7th house. She could attract people who are like a little obsessive, or people may think that she is, like their first impression of her may be like, oh, I thought you were going to be mean when I first met you, but you're not, or maybe the opposite. I thought you were going to be a sweetheart, but you're a little mean. It could be that with the Pluto in the 7th. The 7th house is the house of others, of dealings with others, and also relationships. So, of course, as she gets older and she's old enough to date, really help her with attracting the crazies, okay? Attracting the men who could be obsessive and controlling and all that stuff. That's something that you will have to help her out with, recognizing that and trying to not give into those patterns, and give into those types of men. So, okay, so that was it. That was it now. I just want to make sure I get all the info that I possibly see. So once again, I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave some insight or some validation of things for your little one. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. And I really hope she has a very happy 5th birthday. And I wish you guys many blessings and peace.